Oh my god. Oh my goodness, people. I was actually, guys, I kid you not, I was actually preparing myself. I was actually getting ready. I was actually getting ready to come on here and say Raw was a decent show tonight. The first show, believe that. Believe that. The first show of 2020. I was getting ready to come on here and say it was a good show. I really was. I kid you not. I kid you not. And then the third hour of Raw hit. The first 2 hours of Raw was actually pretty decent, guys. The first 2 hours of Raw was actually pretty decent. And then the third hour hit. And it seems like this is a common theme with the show every single week. And it seems like going to 2020, WWE still making the same mistakes that made 2019 the worst creative year in WWE history. Oh my gosh. Yo, Sean is great F. It's good to see you, but please don't say that. Do not say that. Big Show is great like Sean. Please stop. Stop. Don't make me lose it. Please don't make me lose it, guys. The Big Show. Imagine 2020. It is 2020. It's a new decade. And this show went off the air with the Big Show in the main event. This company never This company never learns. They always are going back to the part-timers. They're always doing stuff to make you scratch your head. It is 2020. This is like when Kane came back earlier this year and then the Fiend put him in the mandible claw. Why? Who's making the decisions on the show? Who thought this was a good idea? Raw was actually decent through the first 2 hours. It was actually decent. And then the third hour hit. You had Shawn versus Sarah Logan, which I didn't care about. Lana was on my screen, which is get off my TV. Alright? Shawn is great, man. I'm not going to deal with your trolling. Alright? Because you troll like this every single week. Alright? Oh, Big Show is greater than Sasha Banks. Whatever. Whatever. If you want to have that mindset, then whatever. Alright? It's a dumb mindset to have, but I'm not going to hold you to it. I'm not going to feed into the argument tonight. Honestly. I'm not going to feed into that argument because you do this every single week on the stream. But the Big Show, I can't wrap my head. I was going to say this was a good show tonight. A decent show by Raw standards. Because Raw and SmackDown have been so bad over the last couple of years. Alright. There's static on my mic. You guys sure? Oh, there is static on my mic. Hold on. Let me try to fix that real quick. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. Do you guys still hear the static? I don't know what's going on. Let me know. Do we sound better? Do we sound better? Let me know. You guys still hear the static? Okay. Thank you, Sleeping Angels. You always getting my back. But what up, everybody? I know we've had a lot of new subscribers over the last couple of weeks. I see a lot of viewers coming into the stream. I love to see that. Welcome, everybody. This is the Legit Shoot Podcast here tonight with your Monday Night Raw review and results for January 6, 2019. I am Fitzmunk TV. I want to thank you guys for joining me here tonight. Man, our first Raw review of the new year, man. And I was going to come on here and say this was a good show. But, of course, every time I'm about to give Raw or SmackDown or WWE in general, alright, an inch of positivity, they ruined it. They ruined it. This show was actually pretty decent. I'm not going to say it was good, it was great. No, it was decent. Alright? For the first 2 hours. And then the third hour hit, it fell off a cliff, like Max Kellerman always says about Tom Brady. All right? The show fell off a cliff. Charlotte versus Sarah Logan. Wow, that's going to get my attention. Lana comes on the screen. Let me grab my remote real quick. All right, please. All right? Sleeping Angels, I agree with you, all right? I agree with you. Oh, my gosh. The only thing that would have made this show, the only thing that was missing from Big Show's return tonight, I could already see it in the chat. Big Show turning heel. Imagine if Big Show turned heel tonight. Who has the most... Here's a quick WWE trivia question for you guys. Who has the most heel turns in WWE history? It's not Charlotte. Alright? It is Big Show. Big Show is known back in the day for turning heel like it was... like someone used the bathroom. You know how you use the bathroom every 2 hours during the day? That's how much Big Show would turn heel. Alright? He would be babyface for 1 week and then turn heel the next week. It was absolutely ridiculous. When I saw the Big Show come on my screen, I almost started the review right then and there. I was just close to turning off my TV because I legit thought WWE was trolling us. I legit forgot Big Show was even signed with the company. I thought he was retired. I thought he was legitimately retired. Why was he there? Why is he still wrestling? The guy barely can walk down the aisleway. He could barely do a clothesline at this position, at this part of his career. I didn't even like the Big Show back in 2011. Back when he was still in his prime. Back when he could still actually wrestle. I really want to go in the minds of these writers. When they sit down, when Vince McMahon sits down and he goes over and he's talking about, what we're going to do for Raw tonight, where does he actually get these ideas of, I want the Big Show, the big gay to return. Anybody that knows me, back in the day, when I used to do Raw reviews a couple years ago with Anthony on the Legit Shoot podcast. You guys remember those days, right? You guys remember, anytime we saw Big Show or Kane on the screen, I would legit lose my mind. I would go on epic rants. I'm not going to do that tonight, all right? Because it's come to the point where it's just laughable. It was laughable. When I heard the Big Show's theme song, I legit stood there like, oh my gosh, there is no way WWE's doing this. This has to be a troll. I legit thought it was going to be Aleister Black. But then Aleister Black had a match against Shelton Benjamin, which we'll talk about a little bit later on the podcast. All right? Or I thought maybe it'll be Randy Orton. I legit did not think it was going to be the big gay himself. Legit. Still, I'm shocked that I'm sitting here talking. I'm actually sitting here talking about the Big Show in 2020 main eventing Monday Night Raw. It's one of the biggest things I'm always complaining about with WWE. They're always relying on part-timers. They're always relying on talent that do no longer belong in a WWE ring. No matter if it's a Goldberg, no matter if it's an Undertaker, no matter if it's a Shane McMahon or a Triple H or a Batista. As much as I love some of those guys, they don't belong in a WWE ring in 2020. This is a new generation. WWE has more talent than it's ever had in the history of the company. But instead, they keep relying on part-timers, Hall of Famers, people who do not want to belong in the ring to come back. The Big Show, and the fact that the Oklahoma City crowd was cheering. They were cheering during the match, "We want Big Show." I was legit like, are you guys retarded? I was just legit sitting there thinking, are you guys retarded? There's no way, Oklahoma City, there's no way this crowd could be that dumb. Alright? This is exactly why Raw has failing ratings. Alright? They actually did a couple things right on this show. But then, whenever WWE takes a step or two forward on the main roster, they take 4 steps back. Alright? They had a decent show through 2 hours, and in the last hour, they fucked it up. And the main event fucked it up even more. The fact that people were cheering the Big Show, the people in Oklahoma City used to be absolutely ashamed of yourselves. Absolutely ashamed of yourselves. WWE should not be returning to Oklahoma City. You crowds like this, people that sit there and cheer the Big Show in 2020, chanting, "We want the Big Show." You are the problem with WWE. You are the problem. Because you sitting there cheering is making Vince McMahon get hard backstage. And then when he gets hard, it means he's going to want to do it again and again and again. He's going to continue to bring back the part-timers. Every time The Undertaker comes out and you hear that gong and you cheer so loud like you've never seen The Undertaker before, it's going to make him want to do it because he's going to be like, oh, the fans love it. Let's do it again. No. You know what you should have done when Big Show came on your screen? You should have booed the shit out of it. All right? Because that should be a message to Vince McMahon and the people running this damn company that it's 2020. We should not be seeing the Big Show and part-timers appear in 2020. Alright? I'm actually getting angry just thinking about it. The Big Show, seeing the Big Show do his comeback in the end of the tag team match, and the tag team match started with like 9 minutes left on the show. They had to rush through the match. The match didn't even have a finish. And then it was announced that next week we're going to be getting, what is it called? A fist fight with Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and another mystery partner against somebody else. Alright? Against AOP and Seth Rollins. What the hell is a fist fight stipulation? Is that just another word for a street fight? That's the only thing. I don't know what the hell a fist fight is. What I know from a fist fight, in my real life, a fist fight is when two people actually brawl it out. Straight hands, not wrestling, hands, street fight. Alright? Not wrestling. So, I actually want to know what that's going to mean. I just think a street fight, or a fist fight is another word for a street fight. Another thing that happened, now they're calling Seth Rollins the Messiah. I know Seth Rollins, some people think Seth Rollins looks a little bit like Jesus. I would never compare Seth Rollins to Jesus in 1,000 years. Alright? But I know some people think he looks similar to Jesus, but now they're calling him the Messiah? They're actually calling him that. They gave him a nickname. He already has enough nicknames. The Architect, Burn It Down, the Beast Slayer, all this other stuff. Alright? How about one of the worst baby faces in the history of the company? Alright? How about they call him Becky Lynch is more of a man than Seth Rollins ever will be? How about we give him that nickname? The Messiah? What has he done to be the Messiah? Tell me. I'll say this. Seth Rollins as a heel is way better than babyface Seth Rollins. But still, oh my goodness, the Messiah? Like, really? That's what we're calling Seth Rollins now? Oh my gosh. But that's just a couple of things I had to get off my chest. The Big Show returned tonight. Oh my goodness. I just had to go on a little mini rant to start the podcast, but I want to thank you guys for joining me for the Raw review tonight. A couple of quick nuggets before we get into it, alright? I'm trying to keep these reviews under an hour, from now on. I don't want to go too long, because I feel like if I go, unless it's like a pay-per-view like the Rumble or Mania or SummerSlam, something like that, that constitutes for me going longer, but, I'm trying to keep these reviews to an hour or a little bit under just because, but, if you see me going a little bit faster through certain segments, you guys know why. I just don't want to keep you guys here all night unless it's like something really, really important. Raw was decent until the third hour. So, and just for the pure fact that the Big Show returned tonight, this show gets a thumbs down. I'm going to shit all over it. Alright? I was actually going to come on here and give Raw credit because they built towards the Royal Rumble. They actually did a couple things right. But, man, that third hour was ridiculous. I don't understand how you can build a decent. The first 2 hours was pretty good, and then the third hour fell off the map. What up, Junior? Good to see you, man. Charlotte is great. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to break the news. Charlotte's not winning the Rumble. Charlotte might be in the final 4, final 5, but she's not winning the Rumble. Charlotte's not having a championship match at WrestleMania this year. None of us want to see Charlotte versus Becky or Charlotte versus Bayley again. I'm telling you right now, Charlotte's going to have 1 or 2 matches at WrestleMania. She's either going to go up, or 3. Charlotte's either going to go up against Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, or probably a legend like Beth Phoenix. That's it. Charlotte's not having a championship match at WrestleMania this year, nor does she deserve it. Charlotte's had 4 years of championship matches. It's time for other people to get the spotlight. Alright? Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest with you. Halloween is lit. Big Show's return is not hype. I don't know what you're watching. If you think Big Show's return was hype, then you're the problem with this show. You're the problem with this community. Alright? Don't come in here with that nonsense. Junior, you're like Stop with that, Junior. The World War III jokes, we're not getting into that. Junior, you're young, right? If anybody was going to get military, I would get put in the military. I'm actually of age to be put in the military. I'm in college right now. Right, Junior, you're not even in high school yet, bro. Don't worry about that. But anyway, on the Charlotte situation, Charlotte's not winning the Rumble. We all know this. All right? The only 3 people that are in contention to win the Rumble, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, if she returns, and Sasha Banks. It's that simple. Nothing else to say. All right? Charlotte's not winning the Rumble. Charlotte does not deserve a championship match at Mania. She's had 4 years of championship matches. It's time for her to take a back seat. It's not her year. No. She's had her time to shine at Mania. It's time for other people to step up. This year at Mania, the 2 women's match will be either Becky against either Ronda or Shayna, one of those 2, and then Sasha versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title. Charlotte will go in a one-on-one match that I won't care about, but she's not getting a title match this year. I'm sorry. She's had her time. It's time for other people, I have not heard anything about Charlotte versus Sasha at WrestleMania, and I don't want to see it. If it's not Sasha versus Bayley at Mania for the SmackDown Women's title, with Sasha finally get the moment, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All right, I do not want to hear it. Sasha versus Charlotte is the only match that I legitimately care about for Mania right now. All right, it should be easy. It should be easy to say that. Juan Harris, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you here before. I think that John Cena is going to be the mystery partner. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I know Cena will most likely be coming back to WWE soon. I think he just finished filming Fast and Furious 9. And there's been rumors that Cena wants a match at Mania, like a legit match this year. Since it's in Tampa Bay, he lives in Tampa, Florida, so he wants a legit match. So who knows? Maybe Cena could come back. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. I'd rather have John Cena return than the freaking Big Show. Oh my goodness. But yeah, if you guys haven't yet, before we get into Raw, we're gonna go through Raw pretty quick. Well, not super quick, but you guys know how I do it here. For people that have been watching my reviews for a long time. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight, as always. If you guys haven't yet, check out my SmackDown Live review. We talked about Sheamus making his return, John Morrison, and the Usos. SmackDown had a lot of big returns on Friday, and I feel like if SmackDown does them correctly, I don't trust WWE to do those returns correctly, but if WWE does those returns correctly and utilize those superstars in the right roles, they could make SmackDown very good. Thank you, Juan, for subscribing. It's good to see you, bro. All right. Stop with that Charlotte stuff, all right? Sasha's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. All right, I'm not going to get into the debate. I'm just going to leave it at that. You try to do this every single week, Charlotte is great F. Charlotte is great F. Can you just say your name, like your real name? It's just so I can just, call you by that name. It's kind of weird to call you Charlotte is great F. But yeah, check out the SmackDown Live review if you guys haven't. Raw definitely needs some new talent, especially in the tag team division and the women's division. Where was Liv Morgan? Where was Liv Morgan tonight? After all the headlines she made last week, did she get banned back to catering? All right, I don't know. But Junior, yes, I'll be doing a Royal Rumble live stream. Like live reaction stream. And I know how much you guys love the live reaction stream. So I hope you guys come in for that. That's going to be absolutely hype because the Royal Rumble is probably my favorite show of the year. I love Mania, but Mania's like 8 hours every single year. I love the Rumble because it's unpredictable, And even though WWE pisses me off, but still, I still get excited for the Rumble at least. But we'll be doing a Royal Rumble live reaction stream, and then right after that, I'll do a Royal Rumble live review, which will be a separate video. So that night, it's gonna be a long night because the Rumble will be like 5 hours, and then we'll have, and my boy, my boy. Anthony, you guys who know Anthony, the guy I used to do this podcast with, he just texted me, the Big Gay? You mean the Big Show? I'm just texting my boy Anthony real quick. Yes, the Big Show. Oh my gosh. If you guys missed my rant, go back and watch the beginning of this podcast after the stream's over. But yes, the Big Show returned tonight. Oh boy. But we're gonna get into Raw real quick. Enough talking. Let's get into it. The show started off. How did the show start off? I'm forgetting how the show. Oh no, Brock Lesnar. Yes, I'm sorry. See. I'm so messed up on the Big Show returning. I'm actually forgetting the decent stuff that happened on tonight's show. But yes, Brock Lesnar made his return tonight. We haven't seen Brock Lesnar since Survivor Series when he defended the WWE Championship in that terrible match with Kane v. Asuka. All right, and Lesnar announced. He basically said Sasha doesn't have talent. Please don't get me started. But Brock Lesnar returned tonight, and basically he said, or Paul Heyman said, first of all, Paul Heyman, I think Paul Heyman, he has failed. He has failed as the executive director of Raw, but he's still great on the mic. All right, Paul Heyman came out, and the fans are booing him and Lesnar. And the first thing Paul says, "Hey, I guess Happy New Year to you bitches too." All right, I love. Oh! If she says one more thing, Sleeping Angels, you know what? I'll take care of Charlotte. Is great. All right, don't worry, I'll take care of her. But Brock Lesnar, basically, he's standing in the ring. Of course, imagine getting paid. Imagine getting paid so much money, millions and millions of dollars per appearance. This is stand in the ring and look tough. Lesnar has the easiest job in the world, man. But basically, Paul Heyman just went on doing his normal stick of how Lesnar defeated The Undertaker, how he's the most dominant champion in combat sports history, the UFC, the NCAA, all that crap, the usual stick. And basically, this promo was about who Lesnar would defend the WWE Championship against at the Rumble. And I've been talking about it the last couple of weeks. There are options out there, but really, nobody really deserves a shot at Lesnar at the Rumble. Let's be serious here for a sec. Who legitimately has earned a shot to face Lesnar at the Rumble? I love Aleister Black. I love KO. I love Samoa Joe. I love these names. But they haven't done anything to earn a shot at the title. You forget the WWE Championship is on Raw because Lesnar's never there. They don't even talk about it. Lesnar has the most combined. They said it tonight. Lesnar's the most combined reigns or combined days as champion in the millennial era. Because he gets to sit at home 80% of the time. When you work, 15 dates a year, while other superstars are on the road over 200 dates a year, well, it's pretty easy for Brock. It's pretty easy to become the longest reigning champ of all time. Don't give me that nonsense, all right? All right. We will talk Junior. We will talk about Drew McIntyre, who I think WWE is turning him babyface, which I'm actually not against. We'll talk about Drew McIntyre in a little bit. Yeah, Charlotte fans are something else, bro. But yes, basically, let's just say Lesnar will make history. Lesnar will make history at the Royal Rumble. And I was like, anybody that wants a shot at Lesnar will get their shot. And I was like, are they gonna do a multi-man match? Is Lesnar gonna do an open challenge? Because honestly, no one has earned a shot. No one has done anything to deserve a shot at Brock Lesnar. That's true. So what they announced tonight is Brock Lesnar will be entering the Royal Rumble at the number 1 entry. He will be the number 1 entry in the Royal Rumble, which I actually like. It's something creative. Oh my gosh, WWE doing something creative. Oh wow. Imagine that. And I'm willing to bet this was probably Paul Heyman's idea. He is the Raw executive director, right? He's the executive director of Raw, and he's the advocate for Lesnar. So it's probably a pretty easy idea for Heyman to come up with. It's not like, if you guys remember when Roman Reigns was WWE champion in 2016, they had Roman Reigns actually defend the WWE championship in the Royal Rumble match. And then Triple H won that match, and that's how we got Triple H versus Roman at Mania that year. All right, I was thinking, are they going to do something similar like that? Because Lesnar doesn't need to be in the Rumble. He's the WWE champion. Unless he wants to, win the Universal title and become Brock 2 belts, right? But no. Instead, what they do here is Lesnar just wants to kick everyone's ass. And the way they're doing it this year with the Royal Rumble, they're going to have 10 superstars from Raw, 10 superstars from SmackDown, and 10 superstars from NXT, which I actually agree with. It makes the brands actually feel important, So I actually agreed with that, and I actually like this. Even though Lesnar should be defending the title at the Rumble, because let's be honest here. We know Lesnar's not winning the Rumble. He's the WWE champion. Alright? And Lesnar's not going after the Universal title. He's not going after The Fiend. Even though Lesnar versus The Fiend would be a damn great feud that everybody wants to see. But we're not getting that anytime soon. Especially with the two on separate brands. So this is what's going to happen. Lesnar's going to go into the Rumble. He's going to start at number 1. He's not going to make it all the way through. You guys really think Brock Lesnar is going to sit in a Rumble match for an hour and a half? That's usually how long the Rumble takes. So you really think Lesnar's going to last an hour and a half in the Rumble? If he fought seriously, yeah, he definitely could. But we both know Lesnar does not give a shit about anything. Alright? He's going to go out there. He's probably going to eliminate like the first 3-4 men. Right? Maybe 5. He's going to go on a streak. He's going to eliminate anybody that gets in his path to start off. And then eventually, whoever, somewhere in the middle of the Rumble, somebody's going to come out. You know, me and my boy Anthony were talking about, there's 2 options I would like to see. Either Matt Riddle, alright, Matt Riddle from NXT, because all of us have been clamoring for Matt Riddle versus Brock Lesnar. For years now, we've been wanting that. Alright? And WWE needs to build new stars. It better not be somebody like Cain Velasquez or, you know, Tyson Fury. No, none of that nonsense. Alright? It needs to be Matt Riddle. It's time for Lesnar to put somebody over. Create a new star. It's time for us to create a new star. Matt Riddle is the perfect guy for that. Matt Riddle and Lesnar would have a damn good match at Mania. Alright? Or you could go with, I would like to see Aleister Black. You guys know I'm a huge advocate for Aleister Black. I love the guy. He's been misutilized on Raw. Other than what he's done with Buddy Murphy, he's not been used correctly. He's just now being built up again. I would love to see Aleister Black be in the main event scene and become Universal Champ or WWE Champion. Aleister Black has all the credentials to become WWE Champion. I think they should do it. Will they do it? Will WWE make the right choice? No, I don't trust them. You guys know I don't trust WWE. Alright? But I think it's cool. I think it's a damn good idea. Alright? But honestly, Lesnar, this title reign, this is not Seth Rollins, this is not Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan or anything like that, or AJ Styles. It's time for Lesnar losing the WWE Championship at Mania to create a new star. That's what they need to do at Mania with Lesnar. Matt Riddle or Aleister Black, I think those are the best 2 options. Or maybe Keith Lee. I don't know if WWE's or NXT is ready to move Keith Lee up yet. You know, there's some people thinking Keith Lee should become NXT champion. I don't know. You know, either way, I think Keith Lee's a future star in this company. No matter if it's against Adam Cole or Lesnar. I think those should be your options. Either Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, or Aleister Black, in my opinion. That's my thoughts on that, you know. Because whoever defeats or whoever eliminates Lesnar from the Rumble, that's going to be his feud going into WrestleMania. It better not be Cain Velasquez, because we know Cain Velasquez is going to be in the Rumble. All right? I don't know about Tyson Fury, but I am praying, guys, that is not where we're heading with this. I really hope not. I hope WWE actually sits down and they actually give Lesnar a really good storyline and a really good opponent going to WrestleMania. I really think it should be either Aleister Black or Matt Riddle. Let me know in the chat or in the comment section down below who you guys think should be the person to face Lesnar at Mania, or eliminate him from the Rumble, setting up a feud at Mania. After this, we had Rey Mysterio versus Andrade Cien in a United States Championship match. This was basically, you guys remember I did the video a couple weeks ago. The video did really great, actually. All right, we had the shock title change at Madison Square Garden. We had Andrade Cien. He defeated Rey Mysterio at Madison Square Garden to become the new United States champion. Out of nowhere, WWE decided to give Rey Mysterio a rematch, so it seems like 2020, the rematch clause has made its return to WWE television, which is sad, but it looks like that's the direction they're going here. So basically, they had this match set up for tonight. All right, and I agreed. You know, this made the card actually look important. You had Lesnar returning tonight. You had 2 championship matches on tonight's card, which actually made the card feel a little more important. It's your first show of the year. You want, to get off on the good start, especially with the way WWE's been the last couple years. And like I said, the first 2 hours of the show was actually pretty damn decent. All right, it was the last hour that got me bad. I'm very angry. All right, And we've seen Andrade versus Rey Mysterio how many damn times? But every single time these two are in the ring, I can watch Andrade versus Rey all day. They have great matches. They have fantastic chemistry. This was a really good match. It was back and forth. No one really could get the upper hand on each. Mysterio and Andrade did some damn great moves on each other. But you always have the X Factor of Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega is always the X Factor here. Near the end of this match, there was a point where Rey hit a move on Andrade, and he actually got the 3 count on Andrade to become, United States champion. The bell rang and everything. All right, but then Zelina Vega during the count took Andrade's leg and put it on the bottom rope. The ref didn't see it. The ref did see Andrade's leg on the rope, but he didn't see Zelina interfere. So they had to restart the match. All right. Then there was a point where Andrade and Rey were fighting on the outside. Andrade actually threw Rey into Zelina Vega by accident, and it looked like Andrade didn't really care. But Rey Mysterio actually did care. Rey, was very concerned for the safety of Zelina Vega, apologizing, even though he didn't really need to apologize because Andrade probably did on purpose. Officials came down to check on Zelina, who was knocked out for a little bit. The match continued. And really, I'm not going to lie, as great as this match was, as great as the chemistry that Andrade and Rey have, the end of this match really didn't make any sense. It was like, out of nowhere. Rey, in the middle of the match, Rey hits a 619 on Andrade. But then, instead of going for the pin, he goes to the outside of the ring to go check on Zelina. Like, why don't you focus on winning back the United States champion? Why don't you get the win first and then check on Zelina after the match? If you care so much because, you hit a female in the face by accident when it really wasn't even your fault. All right? I really don't understand that at all. They really made Rey look like a really idiot. Somebody like Rey Mysterio who's been in this business for 2 decades, they made Rey look really dumb in that instance. And I really hated that. So then Rey goes back in the ring and he walks into a hammerlock DDT from Andrade. 1, 2, 3. Andrade successfully defends the United States Championship. Right after the match, Andrade, he looked like he was going to go check on Zelina, but then ignored Zelina, went back into the ring, and then starts attacking Rey Mysterio. And then he pulled Rey's mask clean right off his face. All right, you guys know. It seems like Rey's getting his mask pulled off a lot these days. All right, this is, I think, like the second or third time in the last year we've seen Rey get his mask pulled off. All right. And then it's like he gave the mask to Zelina kind of as like an apology, or for her getting knocked out in the middle of the match. So then Rey, afterwards backstage, Andrade is doing an interview with Charlie Caruso, bragging about his win, and then Rey attacks Andrade, without the mask. We can't see Rey's face, but he attacks Andrade, gets his mask back, put the mask back on, and then continues attacking him. So definitely this feud between Rey and Andrade is not over. I thought it was, but it seems like they're not done. Maybe this leads to another match between the two at the Rumble. What I honestly thought, because remember, in the gauntlet match we had, that dumb gauntlet match we had a couple weeks ago, they had Andrade attack Humberto Carrillo. I thought, since, Humberto and Rey, they're friends on WWE TV, they were going to use, Andrade disrespecting Rey, pulling off the mask as a way to bring Humberto back to TV, and then Humberto would win the United States Championship, getting payback for what Andrade did to him and Rey Mysterio, all right? They didn't do that, but it definitely seems like this feud is continuing, and, Humberto still hasn't returned yet, but definitely it's going to be interesting to see where they go with this Andrade, Humberto, and Rey Mysterio situation. I thought the feud was going to end tonight, but it looks like they're continuing it. And I love Andrade, Rey. I love the chemistry they have. It's just going to be interesting to see where they go with this going forward. Because I think Rey's going to leave the company after WrestleMania. I think that's when his contract runs out, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Let me plug in my computer real quick before this thing dies. All right. Moving on. We have the Raw Tag Team Championship match, the Viking Raiders versus the OC versus the Street Profits. This was a great match. Great match, and I knew it was going to be a good match. Legit. Sadly, this is your Raw Tag Team division. This is legitimately your Raw Tag Team division. These 3 teams. We talked about this on the podcast on SmackDown's review last Friday. All right, SmackDown actually has a decent tag team division. You have the New Day, you have the Revival, you have Heavy Machinery, you have the Usos who just returned, you have Rude and Ziggler when Rude comes back from his suspension. You have a couple other teams, and you have I think Sheamus and Cesaro are eventually going to get back together. You know, there's like about 7 or 8 teams in SmackDown's tag team division. Even though they're not really doing a good job with their tag team division, at least SmackDown has teams. Raw only has 3 teams. Legitimately, you saw those 3 teams in this match tonight. These have been the only 3 teams that have been featured on Raw since the WWE draft a couple months ago, and it's sad. Honestly, this is why the Viking Raiders were not losing those titles anytime soon. You know, AOP, they are another team, but AOP, they haven't had a tag team match in years. They've been so busy with Seth Rollins and what they're doing over there. You know, you forget the AOP are actually a tag team on their own. You know, so it's sad. What I always say almost every single week on the podcast, 2020, what WWE needs to focus on, your main event scene is okay. All right, you have talent for your main event scene. All right, it doesn't matter how you book it. What WWE needs to focus on is rebuilding the main roster, tag team, and women's divisions, because those are the biggest weak spots on the main roster right now. And if you don't see that after tonight's tag team match, even though it was a great triple threat tag team match for what it was, because all 3 of these teams are really good in the ring, all right? These are the only 3 teams you got. How many weeks can you keep doing matches between these 3 teams? It's repetitive. Why do you think the Viking Raiders are most weeks going up against local competition? Because you have no competition in the division for them to face. You have the Superstar Shakeup coming up after Mania, but legit, you need to get teams on there. I would have much rather have had the Usos put on Raw, put back on Monday Night Raw to help make that division a little bit stronger than put them on SmackDown. That's just what I would say at the end of the day, but it is what it is. Nothing we can really do about it now, but Raw really needs to focus on their tag team division this year. Even though this was a great match, this shows the strengths and the weaknesses of the Raw tag team division. They legit have nobody in that division, and it's sad. Alright? It is sad. The Viking Raiders win. I don't see them losing those titles. Maybe not until Mania. You know, I don't know. I'm waiting for a Viking Raiders and AOP feud. That's eventually going to have to come at some point, right? But, you know, once we do get that, that's when I see the Viking Raiders will lose those titles. Until then, the Raiders are not losing those titles. They either the Street Profits or the OC. We had Erick Rowan versus a local competitor. All right. AOP versus a local competitor. I mean, Erick Rowan versus a local competitor. I don't care about this. I'm sorry. We talk about this every single week. They've been doing this for 3 months. Vince McMahon thinks he is pushing Erick Rowan by doing this nonsense. No, he's making us not care about Erick Rowan. Legit, I don't think WWE knows what's in that cage that Erick Rowan takes to the ring. It's legit the same thing every single week. They get a jobber to job out the Erick Rowan. He's not being built out. He's not being pushed. He's more being buried. But every single week they continue doing this. All right. Oh my gosh, Junior, that's funny. Imagine being drafted during the stream. That would be crazy. Like, I get a letter, someone just comes up behind me, they're like, you get a letter from the U.S. military, you've been drafted. That's funny. Next up, we had another promo by Becky Lynch and Asuka. I'll say this, I am very excited for Becky Lynch versus Asuka. You guys know I've been very critical of Becky Lynch the last couple months because she's been the Raw Women's Champion for 9 months now, and her reign has been super weak. Her reign has been disappointing and weak outside of what she did with Sasha Banks. All right, I love this storyline they're doing with Asuka, you know. But the thing is, when was the last time we saw Becky Lynch in the ring on Monday Night Raw? I understand this. You don't need to have Becky Lynch in the ring every single week. I get that. I agree with that mentality. You don't need, her wrestling every single week. But the thing about it is, at this point, we haven't seen Becky wrestle on Monday Night Raw in months. We see Charlotte going up against some local competitor, somebody random every single week. All right, just to fill in time. But Becky hasn't wrestled in months on Raw. I think the last time she wrestled on Raw was legit in November before TLC. Come on, but no one talks about it. Nobody will mention it because everybody loves Becky Lynch. See, but legit, I like Becky. I think Sasha is the best of all time. Sasha is the best in the entire women's division. But the thing is, yeah, and I like Becky. But thinking I'm not gonna sit here and ignore the fact that Becky doesn't wrestle. She legit doesn't wrestle outside of pay-per-views. This is like the third or fourth straight week we've seen Becky come out and do a promo. She did a backstage interview, like 3 weeks ago. She did this is the fourth straight week we've seen Becky do a promo. She did a backstage interview 4 weeks ago. She did she came out that 1 week when Raw was pre-taped for Christmas and challenged Asuka to the match. Last week she did another backstage interview, and she did a promo tonight. It's the same thing. Even though I like the storyline, I like Becky's promos. Talking about how she hasn't been able to get over Asuka. Here's another thing that I didn't like. During this promo, they had a video package in the middle of the promo. I don't know why WWE's been doing that as often as they have been. They did a promo or a video package during the promo. Why couldn't you have shown the video package showing the history between Becky Lynch and Asuka before Becky came out? It kind of ruins the promo by stopping the promo to show the video package. It looked kind of stupid. You have Becky Lynch pointing to the screen for like 10 seconds waiting for the package to start. It looks dumb. Becky didn't make the package. WWE was the one that made the package. It looks dumb. Even the way Becky's talking about, how she needs to get over the hump. It's the same stuff. Even though I like Becky's promo, I didn't mind what she said here. It's really nothing different as she hasn't been saying the last 3 or 4 weeks. Alright? Asuka comes out. I love Asuka, man. Asuka, she comes out, she's taunting Becky, talking in Japanese, all this. And Becky's looking down like, just taking it. And out of nowhere, Becky just cheap starts Asuka. I'll be honest with you, I'd rather have Asuka 2 belts than Becky 2 belts. Becky Lynch, I like Becky Lynch a lot, but I'm kind of over her as Raw Women's Champion. I'm hoping, and I don't mind the storyline they're doing with her and Asuka. And, I want to see Becky versus Shayna at WrestleMania. I think Shayna needs to beat Becky at WrestleMania. But, what they're doing here, man. Honestly, I'm kind of over Becky as champion. I'm just being honest. I'm really over Becky as champion at this point. I would much rather have Asuka as the Raw Women's Champion going into Mania than Becky. I would not mind I would not mind Asuka being Raw Women's Champion. I really wouldn't. I feel like Asuka has all the momentum, and I feel like Asuka should get the chance. That's just my thing. You guys can clearly disagree with me, but that's just my thing on that. I like the storyline they're doing with Becky and Asuka. I just feel like Asuka should be champion. That's just my thing on that. Clearly, we know Becky's going to get the victory on Asuka at the Rumble. It's going to be a damn good match. It may be the best match on the entire card. All right? It was the second best match at the Rumble on last year's card. Second to Sasha Banks and Ronda Rousey. All right? Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey was easily Ronda Rousey's best match on the main roster last year. Don't at me. I don't want to hear that Charlotte garbage. All right? Charlotte versus Ronda was good, but Sasha versus Ronda was easily Ronda Rousey's best WWE singles match. All right? But yeah, I'm excited for Becky versus Asuka. It's going to be a damn good match. It probably will be the best match on the entire card. And Becky will finally get her win over Asuka. But I'll say this. I didn't like Becky cheap-shotting Asuka. I would have much rather see a little bit of a brawl. Alright? A little more of a brawl. But it's whatever. We had AJ Styles versus Akira Tozawa. I think this could have been a great match. I love Akira Tozawa. I hate how he's a jobber on the show, or enhancement talent, aka jobber. I hate how Akira Tozawa is a jobber on this show. AJ Styles versus Akira Tozawa, I think would be a damn good match if WWE gave these two the time. Instead, this was AJ Styles defeated Tozawa in like less than 2 minutes. He hit him with a phenomenal forearm, and instead of ending the match, he decided to mock Randy Orton because it's been confirmed that next week on Monday Night Raw, we're going to get Orton versus AJ Styles again, which I don't mind, but it should be the end of their feud if you're asking me. But after Styles did the Vincent Orton DDT, and then he hit him with the RKO. Hit him with his own version of the RKO. And then afterwards, Styles does the Orton taunt or the Orton pose. All right, even though I think I do it better than Styles did, because Styles was kind of doing it a little bit wrong. This is the way you do the Orton pose. All right, in my opinion. All right, tell me guys what you guys think about that. Oh, okay, Junior. I see you giving those Bailey poses. I like it. And now we're entering the third hour of Raw. I'm just gonna let you guys know. I don't think I'm gonna spend even 10 minutes on this. All right, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time. The third hour of Raw was absolutely garbage, absolutely garbage. The first 2 hours of Raw was decent, but the last hour was absolute garbage. So Bobby Lashley and Lana finally get married after the debacle. And if you guys didn't watch my videos from last week on the Bobby Lashley and Lana stuff, go check those out. I had an epic rant on Bobby Lashley and Lana's wedding, and I actually did a reaction video to the wedding afterwards. So go check those out if you guys haven't yet after you guys finish listening to the podcast here tonight. But Bobby Lashley and Lana finally get married. So basically, they made up for the botched wedding by completing the ceremony. They had the same official they had last week. The official, in my opinion, was probably the best part of that wedding last week. So they got married. You know, Bobby Lashley, I'll say this. I'll give him a compliment. Lashley wasn't wearing that disgusting makeup he was wearing last week. You know, that was making his face shine. You know, but basically, after Lashley was trying to speak, Lana, being her annoying bitchy self, started going on and on and on like she always. Look at my ring, you know, you guys can never be me, blah, 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 this and that. Then Rusev appears on a green screen. With a beach. You could tell the beach was fake, all right? And I'm thinking, where's Liv Morgan? All right, where's Liv Morgan? I don't see her at all. Like, why, after what she did last week, she's just not going to appear? Or are they saving that for a later date? I don't know. But, you know, Lana starts yelling at Lashley on the screen, and then Lashley starts taunting Rusev, saying he has no balls. You know, all the balls that he had, he gave to Lana when they were married, and now he has none left. And whatever Rusev has left of his manhood, he's going to take from him next week when he takes it from him and shoves it down his throat. I'm sorry, Lashley doesn't have any, you know, he's not charismatic. Anything he says is just not believable to me. He has no personality. He has no energy, no charisma, you know, he's just not charismatic. No, he doesn't have the energy, the flavor you need to have when, you know, when writing or saying promos. He just doesn't have that to me at all. You know, there was a funny part. Lana starts screaming at Rusev, and Lashley actually told Lana to shut up. So it looks like they're already planting the seeds that Lashley's finally getting annoyed of Lana. Not that I really care, but, you know, you guys see what they're doing here. Right? You guys see what they're doing here. Clearly, Rusev versus Lashley not next week. Hopefully, this finally ends this garbage feud. It probably won't, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna waste any more time on this. Next up, we had Sarah Logan versus Charlotte Flair. I did not care about this. This match never even really started. All right, Sarah Logan attacked Charlotte before the bell even rang, knocked her down outside the ring. Then she was stomping on Charlotte's robe, and then Charlotte then speared Logan through the barricade. That's it. So we'll probably get this match next week. I forgot Sarah. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't care about this. I forgot Sarah Logan was even employed. Just being honest with you guys there. Then we had Drew McIntyre versus No Way Jose. All right, and it looks like Drew McIntyre is acting more like a babyface. He's been getting cheered like a babyface the last couple weeks. He's been actually pondering to the crowd a little bit, and I don't mind Drew McIntyre as a babyface. If you guys remember last week, that you know. Or, you know, not last week. Well, last week, you know, with the Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins situation. But you guys remember when McIntyre was in NXT, Drew McIntyre was actually one of the top babyfaces on the entire show. He was the NXT champion until he lost it to, was it Bobby Roode? I think I forgot. Who did Drew McIntyre lose the NXT championship to? Let me know in the chat. I'm forgetting. It wasn't Adam Cole. I know, but I think McIntyre lost the title in like his first defense. Let me know in the comment section or in the chat right now. Who did Drew McIntyre lose the NXT Championship to? But McIntyre was a babyface in NXT, and he was one of the most popular babyfaces on the entire show. You know, so I wouldn't mind McIntyre being a babyface again. But I think WWE right now, Raw does have a lot of babyfaces. You have Joe, you have Kevin Owens, you have Aleister Black, all who I love. You have Randy Orton. So I don't know if there's room for another top babyface in Drew McIntyre. I wouldn't mind it at all. I just feel like WWE, Raw needs heels. You need heels. You have Lashley, you have Buddy Murphy, you have Lesnar, Andrade, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Should Drew McIntyre turn babyface? I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Clearly, he beats No Way Jose in like 2 minutes. And like I said, he was pawning to the crowd. The crowd loves Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's been accepting the crowd the last couple weeks, so maybe we'll see Drew McIntyre turn into a babyface. We'll have to wait and see. Next up, we had Aleister Black versus Shelton Benjamin. All right. And you guys know I like Shelton Benjamin. I feel like he should be using the mid card a little bit more. He has the talent. Him and Aleister Black, they went, they were going against each other for a good 3-4 minutes here. Had a very good interaction. I'm telling you, man, Shelton Benjamin, back in the day, Shelton Benjamin was WWE's back in the 2000s, he was one of WWE's best athletes. You know what I mean? But basically, Aleister Black still won with the Black Mass, of course. And then afterwards, Buddy Murphy attacked Aleister Black again. All right, so they're doing Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black again next week on Raw. I don't know. I love Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy. They tear down the house every single time they're in the ring, but I don't understand why they're doing this again for a third time. Are they gonna do a best of 5? Because Aleister Black's already beat Murphy 2 times. I don't know what they're doing here. What's on the line here? Why does Murphy just not accept that he lost to Black? I don't know. It's going to be a damn good match next week. But to me, this feud should honestly be over. It's already be over. I don't know why they're still doing this. But yeah, next week we're getting Black versus Murphy again. It's going to be a damn good match. This feud should be over, in my opinion. All right, Black's already won twice. And if he wins again next week, it should definitely be over. All right, no questions asked. And last but not least, Seth Rollins and AOP versus Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and The Big Show. I already basically went over this at the beginning of the show. The Big Show returning here in 2020. You guys already know how I feel about this. This was garbage. Big Show returning ruined the show for me. All right? The show was actually decent until the 3rd hour, and then The Big Show came out and thumbs down. I'm not going to rant. If you guys want to see my rant, go back to the beginning of the podcast because I'm going to get out of here. I don't want to talk about this anymore. But basically, The Big Show, he was actually about to win this match for his team. He put Seth Rollins in position for the chokeslam, and AOP got involved and caused a disqualification. Then afterwards, there was a brawl after the show. After the match, and then Big Show actually hit Seth Rollins with the knockout punch. And then that's how the show ended. The babyfaces stand tall. I still can't believe I'm talking about The Big Show main eventing Monday Night Raw in 2020. Man, I can't believe that at all. But yeah, that's how the show ended tonight. And then next week, we're going to get KO, Samoa Joe, and either Big Show or somebody else against the AOP and Seth Rollins in a fist fight, which I think is more just a street fight. But we'll have to wait and see until next week to see what's the deal with that situation. But other than that, guys, that's about it for this Monday Night Raw review. I want to thank you guys for joining me here tonight. Thank you guys for the love and support as always, man. This was a good podcast. Good to see you guys in the chat. You guys are active. You guys really bring the energy for these reviews. But I'm going to get out of here really quick. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you guys haven't yet, check out my SmackDown Live review. That's live on the channel from last week. And we'll be back at it again on Friday with another SmackDown review. And I might bring some extra content along the way. We are on the road to the Royal Rumble. You guys know I got you guys with all the content. But I'm going to get out of here really quick, guys. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys are new to the channel, enable notifications by clicking the bell next to my name for my TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. Junior, that was a great promo, man. Better than anything Seth Rollins can give, or Alexa Bliss can give, or Charlotte can give. All right, please. I'd rather hear you give a promo than hear anything that comes out of the mouth of Charlotte, especially the Charlotte fans. But thank you guys anyway for joining me on the podcast here tonight. Make sure to follow me, guys, on social media. The links are in the description down below. Thank you guys for all the love and support once again. I'm going to get out of here. Have a great night, guys. Peace.